What's going on, sports fans? LJ from H-Town, back again. RaWordz Podcast, streaming now on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow me right now because we're about to break down this huge sports week. We're talking NFL playoffs, NHL, and NBA. We're finna talk about the rest of this week, give y'all some trends, some props, some things that y'all can look forward to. And of course, when I'm talking sports, I gotta have my crew on the stream just because it's my guy. You already know. First up, we got picks from Dave's. How we doing, my guy?
What's up, my man? Happy to be here. Happy hump day.
Happy hump day to you, sir. Glad you can join me. And we got another fellow nerd in the building today. I think this is the first time he's been on my stream. So let's give a warm welcome to Nick, Earl Sports Bits. What's going on, my guy?
Not too much. Yeah, surprisingly, this is my first appearance on this. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey,
glad to be on. Let's do this.
Long overdue.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to bring you on, bring my guys on Wednesday. You know, it's kind of a short day when it comes to, like, sports. You know, we can try to get some trends going for the rest of the week, get some look aheads and things like that. So, you know, I'm starting to bet hockey now, so I gotta have my hockey guys on here to give me some insight. You know, I like to bet the stats. You know, I look at the ATSs and the trends, but I need to know players. I need to know goalies. I need to know the line, the defensive. I need to know things like that. And perfect guy on here to do that for me, Tim, Dave, because I know y'all big hockey bettors. You know, sort of like. So let's talk sports today, but we're gonna start off with football. Because it was an exciting weekend Sunday. You know, I won on the Giants plus 4, I think 5 at money line. I took the 49ers with the spread. I took Cincinnati with the spread. Didn't out. And took Buffalo first half spread. Didn't work out. So I went 2 for 2, you know, but it's all good because I didn't lose. Just broke even, so I can't ask for anything better than that. So, before we get into this week's coming up, how did y'all guys do? Dave, let's start with you. How did you do this past Sunday, sir?
I did pretty well. I wish I would have posted the Giants play. I was on that. I got plus 165 or 164. Can't remember. I had the Niners game all wrong. I had the Niners coming out, getting the first half, and then getting a back door, but it was exact opposite. So I lost that bet, but we did do a watch party for 2 of the games, and you guys were both on it, and we made a semi-irresponsible bet, which never should be advice, but basically it was we were dying in that game. No one had winning bets. We were about to shut the stream off, so I threw a quarter unit at the Jags plus 1,000, and that's all she wrote. So, and LJ got so disgusted he left.
Yeah, I left the stream because I got tired of seeing Trevor Lawrence throw interceptions.
Yeah.
But when I got back home, because I went to the store, I didn't even have my
Did you punch
phone.
something?
So I wanted all the distractions away. I did. I punched some before I got off the street.
Yeah, I saw it.
When I got back to this house, I could not believe what I was seeing. I was like, why did I leave? I know these guys are on here making money right now, and I'm missing it. So kudos to you, man. Kudos to y'all. Tia, how did you do, man? How did you do on Sunday?
Nick, by the way, and I had a pretty good wild card weekend.
Nick, I'm sorry.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, I had a pretty good wild card weekend. Went 14-3-1. My only losers this weekend were not playing San Fran full game, playing them first half. I had a small sprinkle on Baltimore money line, and Brett Maher decided to miss 4 extra points. So the over in that Dallas game did not hit. Other than that, I had the over in the San Fran game, which came through. I had Jacksonville, which was never in doubt. Jacksonville team total over as well. I had Miami plus 11 from earlier in the week. Rebet them at 14.5. Both those came through, and the over 44. I had the Giants plus the points, money line, team total over, full game over. All those came through. I pushed on the 7 with Baltimore because I tried to be smart, thinking that we're going to see Lamar Jackson. We did not. Doesn't matter. It pushed. I had the over in the Baltimore game, which was nice. I had Dallas first half, Dallas full game, and Dallas team total. So I was up 11.33 units in wildcard weekend. So I've already locked down all 4 of my plays for this weekend so far. My sides, my ATS, whatever. Probably get into the totals and team totals later in the week. But yeah, definitely excited to keep going forward here with the NFL.
Man, you did great. So let's see if we can keep that up, sir. I like hearing that. I love it. Man, let's start off with this Jacksonville and Kansas City Chiefs game. I have both of these teams averaging 27 points the last 3 games. The Chiefs are averaging 18 points in the first half. Mind you, Jacksonville is averaging 15 points in the second half, which is number 3 in the league right now. Time of possession is an issue for both teams. They're under 30 minutes. Jaguars at 26. Chiefs are at 25. The Chiefs rushing yards, last 3 games, they're under 100 at 97. So they depend on Mahomes to throw the ball a lot. And these 2 teams played earlier in the season, and Mahomes had 35 attempts, 331 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The defense as well stepped up too. They had 5 sacks of quarterback hits in that game as well. But far as Jacksonville, like we just mentioned, they had a miracle comeback. Kudos to them. But I believe that they're going home on Saturday or Sunday whenever they play. I think it's Saturday. They play Saturday or Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Saturday.
Okay.
They play Saturday at 4:30.
So, like I said, okay. Yeah, I'm expecting them to – I expect the Chiefs to take care of business, of course. And they have the advantage on the takeaway. The Chiefs have had 5 takeaways and only committed 2 giveaways in their last 3 games. Jacksonville, 13 giveaways in their last 3 games. So that could be the deciding factor in this game. Whoever wins the turnover battle, the Chiefs will come out on top and move on to the – So let's get your thoughts. Nick, right?
Yes. I've already locked in this play. I got the Chiefs at 8.5. I think this is Chiefs by 3 touchdowns. We saw the Jaguars come back from all the way down 27-0 in that first game. Loved it. I had Jacksonville. We cashed with them. We all cashed with them. But this is now reality check. It's not Brandon Staley on the other side now. It's Andy Reid, one of the best coaches in football, and probably the best quarterback probably the best quarterback in football right now, Patrick Mahomes. They will make you pay for those mistakes. And I think by the end of the game, when it clicks 0-0-0 in the fourth quarter, the Chiefs would have 35 to 40 points in this game. I'm going to be looking at the Chiefs team total over. I look for them to just have their way here. Andy Reid off of a bye as well is just something I like there. I see this game as the Chiefs in a rout. I'll probably look at their team total over and maybe a first half play as well with the Chiefs. Look for them to get out early. This has an emotional letdown spot after a massive comeback last week. The Jaguars story was fun. I think it ends this week.
Yep, I agree. Dave, what you got?
Before that, Peasy's talking about Brady going to the Raiders. Everyone's saying that. There might be some insider stuff. At this point, who cares? We saw the demise, we saw the downfall of the greatest quarterback, the greatest football player ever to play, in my opinion. All of us have been capping it. All of us have been saying this is the year. So the Raiders can have him. I think you're a Raiders fan, but the Raiders kind of have a curse on them. I don't know if it's the curse of Al Davis or what. So God bless them. Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I don't know why he panned out, but Brady needs to retire. Anyways, on to this game. So I index all these games as you guys know, and this one is right on the dot. I have Kansas City as an 8.37 point favorite. It's at 8.5. This is the most problematic game to me because I actually lean for 3 of the dogs to cover, and the only favorite I think is going to cover for sure is San Francisco. That's dangerous because they're my team, and I hate betting on my team. But for some reason this year, both my college team and my football team did well. So money's money. The play I like in this, I think I like the over in this. If Lawrence doesn't screw up, and I would lean unders most of the time for these games, but this seems like an over game. I think this, is a couple points too low. I'm going to deep dive. This is a game, like I said, I don't have a play yet that I'm thinking of in mind, except for this lean. But if gun to my head right now, if I had to give advice, look into the over. I think, obviously Trevor Lawrence has the ability to come back. He has the ability to go on a shootout. The problem is if he has 4 turnovers against this team, it's not going to be the same result. That's for sure. Throws 4 interceptions. No siree. He's going to get smashed.
There's 4 interceptions. She's going to be down 35-3 and not 27-0.
Yeah. These guys don't make mistakes on offense. Yeah. You probably have the best offensive coach in the history of football.
Yep. And maybe go how he did without his number 1 receiver that went to Miami.
Didn't matter. People said that was a big deal. I said
that's the thing. Yeah.
Andy Reid finds a way. He will find a way. He got McKinnon involved, and McKinnon is just a fucking beast. So all he needs, he's like Belichick on defense. All he needs is guys that are adequate, and he'll figure out a way to put him in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be on McKinnon's prop as well.
I think I'm going to look at that too.
For sure.
Yeah. Travis Kelce props as well. Jacksonville struggles with the tight end.
He cashed last game. Hey, okay, we can ride both of them, but it's unanimous. The Chiefs will be moving on, and so do y'all think Jacksonville covers or Chiefs spread?
No,
I'm not betting it, but it wouldn't surprise me if they cover. By the way, Kansas City in a couple spots, I bet against them with bigger spreads like this, double-digit spreads. They didn't cover. They had trouble covering against the Rams. This is a different game though, so the side scares me. Actually, what's funny is I saw someone parlay all the favorites together on the money line. I don't advocate parlaying, but I actually don't. I think all of these favorites win. I think 3 of the dogs cover. That's my opinion. I know Nick wants the Giants to win really bad, and I do too, but
they're live.
They are live. They are live.
Winning too.
Yeah, they are live.
Yeah, and let's transition to them right now. These 2 teams just played the last game of the season, so they've seen each other already. The Giants, I got them averaging 28 points the last 3 games. I got the Eagles only averaging 22. I have the Giants also averaging 13 in the first half, 14 in the second half, which is number 4 in the league. The Eagles averaging 15 in the second half. So it's going to be high scoring, I believe. Giants usually tend to go to the under, but considering the game, I believe they're going to try to have to score in this game because the Eagles aren't going to bow down, and they depend on a lot of big plays. I was looking at their stats. I wrote them down. 96 rushing yards the past 3 games, only 3.7 yards per rush. So that lets me know I went to their part. 8 yards per pass. So the Eagles depend on the big play in order to get down the field instead of dinking and dunking maniacally trying to ease their way down the field. They don't play that type of game. They run the ball. They look for big plays off the play action with Jalen Hurts. And he also can hurt you with his legs as well. So he keeps the defense honest a lot of times. So you have to have somebody on him as well. So they have a dynamic team that could possibly give teams trouble. But I do believe that the Giants are coming to this game. They're playing good. They have 24 first downs, which is number 1 in the league in their last 3 games. They're averaging 5.5 yards per rush, which is last 3 games, which is number 1 in the league too. Now, the touchdowns, they're averaging 3.5 touchdowns the last 3 games. The Eagles are only averaging 2. So it comes down, I believe, of the game, whoever has the ball last drive, I believe wins this game. I think it's that close. I do believe it's going to be high scoring, and it may come down to a field goal. But Daniel Jones has to play a perfect game. He can't turn the ball over. He has to play just like he beat Minnesota. But the Eagles aren't Minnesota. Totally different team. Now, we do have injuries concerned with the Eagles as well. I don't know if Lance Johnson would be able to go. Jalen Hurts is still dealing with that shoulder. But I think they're all going to be ready to go. And I believe this will be a great game for us to watch. So, Nick, let's start off with you. Who you got, Giants and Eagles?
I got the Giants at least covering the number here, if not winning outright. When we look at the Giants this year, they're 14-4 ATS. In 13 of those games, they were underdogs. They covered in 11 of those 13 games as underdogs. So they're 11-2 ATS as a dog, 7-1 as a road dog. So this is a team that you want to back in this underdog role, especially getting this many points. It's a divisional game. So you don't have to talk to me twice about a divisional underdog. Those are usually pretty good as well. I do like the Giants here, at least covering the number. I don't know too much about the total. I could see this game going over. We saw the Giants offense be able to work a little bit last week. Granted, Vikings defense is Swiss cheese, and that's probably being offensive to cheese. This is just, it's a different defense they are going to be going up against, but I can see them being able to keep this game close. We saw them keep it close against the Eagles, competing for the number 1 seed in the conference with third strings. So potentially I can see this game being pretty close, and it's tough to beat a team 3 times in a year. So I can see this as one of those spots where the Giants come in. At the very least, they keep it super close. If not, watch out. They can win this game outright. So I did grab the 7.5, and I sprinkled the plus 280.
Yep, I did the same exact thing, sir. So I'm right along with you. Dave, what you got for this game?
Yeah, I will say this too, just looking at these 4 games, these are 4 really good games, even though Jacksonville, Kansas City, this is what we wanted to see. These are teams we wanted to see here, not just because, Nick's a Giants fan, I'm a Niners fan, but LJ, we were talking about Philly, getting here, and they did. We did a good job as a team on all our different shows at really seeing this season through. But in this game, okay, so I have this game as the Eagles a 6.5 point favorite. So I'm getting a half point. Plus you're getting the hook on the 7. I am going to find my way on the Giants. And the thing is I'm very numbers based and trends based. You guys know that I do deep dives and stuff, but there is something to be said about momentum. And Jacksonville has momentum. Would it shock the world if they beat Kansas City? I don't think so. Would it shock the world if the Giants beat Philadelphia? Would it shock the world if Cincinnati, who has some momentum, beats Buffalo? Dallas has some momentum, but the San Francisco 49ers have the most momentum in the entire NFL, so I don't know how that will work. But either way, I think the Giants could win this game. The 2 factors are going to be, one, I'll say this actually, it's the second most important, is going to be Daniel Jones. He has to have a game like he has last game. Has to. Absolutely has to. Number 1 is we're going to see how good Dable is as a coach. Sirianni is a good coach. Probably coach of the year. Maybe these might be the 2 coaches, these contenders. Sirianni probably does because of what they did in the offseason. They just did so much in the offseason to make that team the way that it is. But if Dable coaches the shit out of the game and Daniel Jones has a game like last time, they 100% cover and they might win the game. The problem is, as a Philly by a long shot, the first team versus first team is a better team on paper. So good game, rival. How do we get in this late in the season in the playoffs? How do we get a Giants Eagles playoff game? That's crazy.
Yeah. I also did see one more stat here that I did also see one more stat. Since 1990, the Giants versus number 1 seeds in the playoffs are 6-0.
They're fire.
They don't give no fucks about your 1 seed. They'll take you down.
Mm-hmm. It's true. But they don't have their fucking leprechaun there anymore. Eli Manning, that mouth breather. So
no, we have the next
Eli Manning.
We have Vanilla Vic. We got Vanilla Vic.
There we go.
Well, I like how Dable has changed that culture to Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And I was following the Giants all year. I won some money on them as well. You ride the hot team, and coming in hot, and like they know this team. They just seen them last week, so it's fresh on their minds, man. So we'll see how injured the Eagles are. We'll see how, the assertiveness will come with them. But I believe this is going to come down to probably the last possession of the game, man. And it's going to be thrilling. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy it and watch it and see if I can cash some money with the Giants. All right, guys, let's move on to the game that was supposed to be played a couple weeks ago. But, things happen. It's life and, comes into play. So we had to postpone the game. But now they're meeting the Bengals, Buffalo. I have Buffalo as a 10-point favorite in this game. They're averaging 34 points the last 3 games. Bengals averaging 24. Buffalo, 13 points in the first half. Bengals, 18 points in the first half. But the Bengals digress tremendously in the second half. They're only averaging, 6 points their last 3 games in the second half. While the Bills are averaging 21 points in the second half their last 3 games, which is number 1 in the NFL right now. They also number 3 in total yards, 392. Number 1 in yards per rush, 5.5. Number 3 in yards per 0.1. And number 1 in touchdowns scored their last 3 games, 4.5. So, Bill's been putting up numbers. As we know, Josh Allen could sometimes get beside himself. He thinks he's Superman at the sideline at times. And he turns the ball over. And they've lost the turnover battle their last 3 games. They've had 9 giveaways and only committed takeaways were 7. So they lost that turnover battle their last 3 games. Mind that Bengals have caused 7 takeaways. They've only given it up 5 times. So they've won their turnover battle. And I do believe that is what's going to come into play because that's been the consistency of Buffalo. They're reckless with the ball, especially Josh Allen. It's likely that his team is talented enough to get him out of those holes a lot of times. But if he didn't have the talent on that team, we wouldn't see the efficiency that Buffalo has been having. It's just unfortunate. It's just fortunate they do have that talent. But the Bengals also have talent. But they're on the road. The Bengals play much better at home, in my opinion. Far as they can't run the ball. They're dead last in rushing yards their last 3 games at 59. Dead last at yards per rush at 3 yards per rush. So if they can't run the ball, they have to depend on Burrow to throw the ball 30, 40 times. And considering how Buffalo's pass defense is, I don't know if that's a good recipe for Burrow to be successful. So this is going to be a good game, but I have Buffalo's game, and we all know the emotions that's going to be riding. Hamlin is rumored to be at the game, and he's going to bring the team out of the tunnel. So it's going to be a lot of electricity in that game for Buffalo, and I don't think the Bengals will be able to overcome that. That's just my opinion. They may prove me wrong, but I have Buffalo winning this game by the spread. Nick, I'm sorry. What you got?
I got the opposite side. I'm on the Bengals outright in this game. I have this game around a 3. I'm wondering how you came up with a 10 in this game because I think these 2 teams are pretty comparable, and I think maybe the Bills are slightly overrated because this is a team that does turn over the ball a lot. We have seen a downgrade in Josh Allen this season compared to last season without Dable as his offensive coordinator. And don't get me wrong, the Bills are a good team. I just saw this as over a field goal, and I thought that was just way too many points. We saw that in the very limited sample size in the game against Buffalo when they did play for 10 minutes, that they were able to move the ball pretty easily against the Bills defense, and I think that we could see something very similar to that. This may be a really fun shootout type of game as well, where this game goes over the total with both offenses just high flying the way they are. I played the Bengals in this game. I bet them really early, thinking, okay, this line's going to go down below the field goal, and it's gone up, which confused me there. But I did grab them, unfortunately, at 3.5, but I did sprinkle plus 200 on the money line as well. I think Cincinnati is a live dog in this game to win this one outright. And I think Cincy is a team that we could potentially be seeing in the Super Bowl this year. I think the Chiefs make the Super Bowl, but Chiefs-Bengals will be a fun matchup, I think.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad, but and also the offensive line. I think Joe Burrow, the Bengals, I think they have a lineman that got hurt the last game. So the offensive line may be, shuffled up a little bit as well because it's all about protecting him. He gets sacked a lot. Yeah. So if they can protect him, they can win the game. I got confidence the Bengals can come and win this road game. But I just think the factors are going to be too much to overcome for the Bengals, and that's just my opinion. Dave, what you got? Bengals and Bills.
Yeah, I'm on Nick's side in this one. I have the Buffalo as a 4-point favorite. And plus 5 and 5.5 is a dead number. Whenever I see that, I think usually that's telling you something. But here's the deal. I was really high on Buffalo and really low on Cincinnati, and it's kind of changed. We've seen Cincinnati having the momentum, and we've seen Buffalo really kind of screw the pooch a lot of times. And here's the deal with Josh Allen in big games. When he's had big games, how many of them has he come through and how many of them has he flopped? I think he's about 50-50 right now. So the jury's still out on Josh Allen being a champion, being a winner, eye of the tiger when you need to, being a Tom Brady or Joe Montana. So we'll see. Does he have the athletic abilities? He's probably, he's probably the most athletic. He is the most athletic quarterback. He has the most all-around skills, in my opinion, of a quarterback in the NFL. Isn't the best quarterback. That's Mahomes. But with that line and with that being said, Cincinnati, anyone who backs Cincinnati, this should just bother the hell out of me because this wasn't a season where this was supposed to happen. They caught lightning in a bottle, but they've actually played well. I think they're playing better now than they did last year, and they made it to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But here's the deal. I'm probably taking them first half. I see 3.5. It's juiced. If I can stay at 3.5, that's probably going to be my bet. First half NFL bets have not gone well for me this season, but it just seems like Buffalo may be able to run away with it at the end. But I agree. But the Bengals are live, just like the Giants are. It's a dead number. My index says this is a Bengal spot, so I'll be on the Bengals somehow.
All right. Yeah, I'm on the opposite side of you guys. But hey, I wouldn't be mad. Like I said, it could go either way with you, Nick. I do believe this will go over. Because if the Bills went over with Miami, damn sure gonna go over with them.
That was a shock.
So
Miami.
I don't see how this game goes.
I saw there that secondary for Cincy or for Buffalo is vulnerable. And we saw that last week where Thompson looked decent. Granted, they got a lot of short fields. That was one thing that we did see with Miami. They put up a lot of points because there's a few shaft kicks and there was turnovers and there was a defensive touchdown. So maybe those 31 points are a little bit misleading, but I still see a vulnerable Bills defense, especially without Von Miller. We've noticed that the last month of the season.
Yeah, I agree that Miami was probably gifted 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, go figure. I had Miami team total under.
Buffalo. Yeah.
I had Miami bet twice in that game. I got 11 and 14.
So, but yeah, I believe the game goes over, and I got the Bills coming out on top, going back to the AFC Championship. All right, guys, last game. Let's talk about these Cowboys going down to Santa Clara to take on my future NFC champion, the San Francisco 49ers. Because I put plus 500 as soon as I saw on the ticker that Christian McCaffrey was traded. I went straight to the window, locked it down, taking a shot on the 49ers because I believe that that's all they needed to overcome. But we didn't expect Jimmy to get hurt. We didn't expect him to be on their third string quarterback. But Brock Purdy, he's been holding down the ship. He's been doing what he got to do. He's not turning the ball over. They've only had 3 turnovers in their last 6 games. And they've caused 14 turnovers. So 49ers have been balling, man. Averaging 38 points their last 3 games. 17 in the first half. 20 in the second half. 423 yards the last 3 games. 5 yards per rush, 9.3 yards per pass, 4.5 touchdowns last 3. I mean, they sound like the Buffalo Bills to me, bro. And I do believe that this could possibly be the Super Bowl. Buffalo versus the 49ers. But I'm not counting them, I don't think Cincinnati make it, though. I think there was last year. Not saying that they're a bad team. I just think that this year they're going to come up a little bit short. and we're going to see Kansas City and Buffalo again in the AFC Championship. And I do believe that Buffalo will come out on top, but I could be wrong. But let's get back to this game. 49ers, Dallas. Dallas. They played a hell of a game, man, Monday night. The Brady. I had the Cowboys winning the game because we all know that Brady's washed up. He's a statue in the pocket. They can't run the ball. So what was Tampa Bay going to do against that hellacious Dallas rush defense? What were they going to do? The pass rush was coming at Brady all night. He couldn't get away from it at all. So he tried to, get some garbage time in late game, but it didn't matter. Dallas controlled that game from start to finish. It was surprising that they dominated that way, but it's not surprising that they won by that margin because they are the better team than the Bucs right now. But they're going against the 49ers, which I think the number one team in the NFC next to Philly. I think they've topped Philly considering the injuries and what's going on with Philly. They kind of digress. 49ers keep ascending. So I'm going to pick the 49ers to win this game by the spread, of course. I just believe that you do not get in their way right now. They're playing too good. As long as Brock Purdy can take care of the ball, I see the 49ers moving on easily, taking care of the Cowboys. So, Dave, we're going to start with you. What do you got in this game? Cowboys, 49ers.
Well, I would love to be on a 49ers total or a future, but we all know that if I did that, I'd mush the shit out of this, and this wouldn't have happened. The Niners are my team. This is the thing, though. Dallas and the LA Rams, and this makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. Those two teams were the most profitable teams for me in the NFL. I think I probably won, over 10 units just with those two teams alone. It had to do a lot with Dallas getting no respect for Cooper Rush. And it kind of shows you, too, that – and Brock Purdy's another example that this whole you need a quarterback to win a Super Bowl, that I think you still do, but I think that might be going out the window because 49ers are the best. 49ers, and this is by the index, too, they're either the first one of three teams that are the best in the NFL, and the quarterback's Mr. Irrelevant. So what does that tell you? And imagine if they had a good quarterback. It'd be them in Kansas City every year. But I have the Cowboys as 4.5-point dogs. So if you give me 3.5, all we have to cover is 3.5. And I readjusted this. I told Nick it was 5. I redid the numbers. It's 4.5 on my end. 49ers are rolling. And this is about time for the Cowboys fans. And I love it. Every year there's the silence heard around the world. All those crying fans from last year and everything. Every year the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. Every year Dak Prescott is in the question for the 5 best QBs in the league. Jerry Jones this, Cowboys that. Here's the deal. Cowboys haven't been to an NFC championship since 1996. They haven't been out of the first round of the playoffs maybe 3 times in that time. That's almost 30 years ago, guys. It's a long – that's before Nick was born. And this is the time for it to shut it down. This isn't a team that can't score points like Tampa Bay. This isn't a limp dick coach like Todd Boyles. This is one of the best coaches in the NFL. Young coaches, creative coaches, Andy Reid-style coaches. And this is a team, by the way, the Niners in scoring points. No one saw it to the end of the year. I think they're in top 8, top 6. They can score points. They can play defense and score points. So I'll be on the Niners. Hope I don't jinx it, but that's actually my favorite play. It's the Niners to cover 3.5.
Yeah, I don't see them having any trouble with the Cowboys, man, because the Cowboys can't run the ball. They're only averaging 93 yards their last 3 games, 3 yards per rush, which is tied dead last with the Bengals. So, and you can't run the ball on the 49ers either. So
I was going to say against the best rush defense.
A lot, under pressure.
Yeah.
So he's going to be throwing the ball a lot, running around, I believe, a lot, trying to run for his life because the 49ers, I think they got the jitters out with the Seahawks because that was the 3rd time that they played them. So we already know how that goes. Now they're playing a team that they haven't even this year. And Dallas coming in off that high versus the Bucs. Now you got to go. And the 49ers have the rest advantage because they play early Saturday. The Cows play late Monday night. So all the advantages to the 49ers, man. Nick, what we got? Cowboys, 49ers.
Yeah, I do have a 49ers future. So that is, I do have that. So, to win the NFC, I like them in this game as well. I think they win this by double digits. This is the reality check game for the Dallas Cowboys, you're not playing Tom Brady, and you're not playing a washed-up 45-year-old. You're now playing Mr. Irrelevant, which has been very relevant this year, which just proves that you don't really need anybody as your quarterback to really make a noise in that system, at least for San Fran. This is a team where their defense is going to take over in this game. Might look towards Dallas's team total under. I could see them getting stifled a little bit in this game. I do like the Niners minus the points in this game. I got it at 4. You can get it at 3.5, I believe, now.
All right. The consensus is in. 49ers by the spread, which is not surprising. They probably will beat every team by the spread going to the Super Bowl. So I think Shanahan, genius coach, he adjusts on the fly, just smart mind, and I love the chess game when you get coaches like that to especially when they've seen each other before. And like I said, McCarthy, he had back in Aaron Rodgers. That not so much, but at the same time, he has his staff in place to where you got a defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, who went to the Super Bowl. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just about you trying to have your ego like Belichick, trying to do things your way instead of just doing things the right way. So all in all, Dallas, good season, but I'm still in on Sunday, my friend. All right, guys. That's the NFL playoffs right there, all in a nutshell. So we can move on to its favorite sport, the NHL. So, as far as tonight, how are we looking so far tonight, Nick, on your plays? How are we looking so far?
It's going to get a little bit sweaty down the stretch here. It looks like we're about 2.5 minutes from overtime in Pittsburgh. Ottawa tied at 4, and it's now 3-1 Boston. So that's going to be a sweat for my team total under for the Boston Bruins. I'm hoping for no more goals from them. And
they might not pull the net. They might not pull the goalie as early.
Down 2, they might pull it earlier, actually. I'm worried about that.
Depends on the coach, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I am worried about that, but it is what it is. So we'll see. And then the other games don't start until.
Did you have any plays tonight, Dave? NHL?
Yeah. Do you want to say your plays you still have, Nick, or?
I got the Lightning -1, their team total over, and the full game over. And then I got Dallas -1 as well.
Yes, I had 2 plays. I took a very aggressive under 5 in the Islanders Bruins game just because I thought Sorokin was going to be in goal. I guess it doesn't matter that their backup has good numbers too, but those were 2 of the best goalies in the NHL. So instead of taking an even money bet, I took +185 at almost double money. I'm going to sweat it out.
Yep.
Probably not going to happen. It's 3-1. I'm hoping for a tie at this point. But next is Stars and Reg. I think it's time. The Stars team's really good, and San Jose's bad. And I think it's time for the Stars to start turning it on because I think they could be a contender. At least they were earlier in the season. And the Sharks suck. So I got it at +100. I don't take an in-reg unless it's plus money. And so that goes off in an hour, 20 minutes. Sorry.
Yeah. Just a personal thing for me. I haven't bet a reg play in well over a year. I'll take the -1s instead of regs because you can still push in overtime.
And I'm the other way. I don't take -1s in baseball and pushes, and I don't bet puck lines because I don't quite feel comfortable like I do with money lines and or run lines in baseball. So I take a team in reg for better odds, which it's just different styles, I guess.
Yeah.
Your play is safer. You're smarter, safer. Mine's more aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I started aggressive. So I had to slow down a little bit because I was losing too much money trying to take puck lines, things like that. So it's hard to beat a team by 2 goals in hockey, man. I realize that.
Yeah.
So, but let's go to the slate tomorrow. Let's start off with the Wild and the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina's at home, which they are a beast, and the Wild on the road. So, what are your projections for this game, Nick? Wild and Carolina.
Get my spreadsheet up. I have this game projected. Marc-Andre Fleury and Frederick Anderson in net. And my numbers with that are 3.71 to 2.97 in favor of the Hurricanes. I have a lean towards the Wild lean towards the Hurricanes -1. And I kind of like the over in this game if it's going to be flurry. I think the Hurricanes can get 4 goals off of this Wild team tomorrow. You can get over 6 at +118. I wouldn't be surprised if this hits a 5.5 tomorrow. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow morning, this is a 5.5. If it is, I'm going to bet the over in this game. If it's a 6 at plus money, I'm probably still going to bet the over in this game. I think there's goals at the very least. I think Carolina's gives you 4 in this game. So I'm leaning towards Carolina, and I'm leaning towards the over right now. Probably the over is the stronger play for me. But I can't get this Wild team right worth of anything. So.
Dave. I was
just
Dave,
looking at.
He has a love-hate relationship with him too.
I fucking hate the Wild.
I fucking hate the Wild.
Yeah. Right now, I'm down a little less than a unit, betting a half a unit every game on the money line. I can't figure them out. The only time I bet, here's the deal. This is a Hurricane spot. Hurricanes are a better team. Wild are probably going to win by 5 goals. That's the way that this shit that works this year. And when you like the under, actually, the Wild will shut them out 5-0, and the under will still hit. That's the Wild are cursed. Minnesota teams this year need to go away. Maybe next year I'll like them more, but good riddance, Vikings and Wild. It's a curse. But because I made a promise, and I do what I say, experiment, I will be betting half a unit like I do every game on the Wild. And I hope to God that I'm positive at the end of the year. And what a fucking waste of time.
Yeah.
So you are going to continue out the whole year?
I said I would, and I'm going to. And I'm not. Here's the deal. There was an escape route. If they were down 10 units, which means I was down 5 complete units, betting half. If I'm down 10 bets, I could get out. But here's the deal. That looked like it was going to happen for a little bit. Now I'm stuck all season because they'll never. Yeah. So I'm just cursed. So advice: don't take advice from fanboys that say their teams are profitable.
Yeah.
All right. so we agree that this is a Carolina spot. Is what y'all say.
Carolina and the over is the lean for me.
Carolina and the over. All right, buddy. Let's move on to the Ducks and the Blue Jackets. Sounds like a bum fight to me.
Marquee matchup of the day.
On this one, we can move on from this game. Oh, you did a video on this, right?
I did a free pick video on this one already.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm getting plus money to fade. Yeah, I'm getting plus money to fade the worst goalie in hockey right now. It's almost like you being able to take plus money to fade Patrick Corbin. It's one of those situations. I'm projecting Gibson and Merzlikins for this game. I took the Ducks at plus 135, and I took the full game over 6.5 at plus 104. I see this as a high-scoring Ducks win, which Ducks are not a good scoring team, but if there's ever a team for them to score goals against, it is this goaltender with Elvis Merzlikins, where the losses just keep piling up for him, and he's really struggled this season. Out of 82 goalies, he's ranked last in goals saved above average, so he's not stopping the shots he's supposed to stop, and he's graded the worst goalie in hockey. I'm gonna look to fade him here. I'll probably grab a little Ducks team total over as well, because you can probably get that at a decent price tomorrow. I think the Ducks win this in a high-scoring matchup. By the way, just catch the Senators.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm with Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm on the other side. I've been on the Ducks for a couple of weeks. I should have been on it all season. Ducks team total under. Just slamming it every game. Problem is, this one 2.5 plus 115. 3 is minus 135. I'm tempted to take the juiciest line I've taken all year. I've taken a 135 once this year. Or sorry, this year. It would be this year. I'm talking about last year. Shit, it's January. Yeah, this would start off the year in a weird place, taking a minus 135. I don't take that juice for anything. but the Ducks can't score. And even though their spots are supposed to score and this and that, they've scored. Now it's 10 goals in 6 games. So that's less than 2 goals a game. The past 5 games, past 10 games, they've scored 26, which is well under 3. They probably land on 3, but I don't know. This should be an over spot. 2 shitty teams, 2 bum fights. It's like two high school chicks just flailing their arms. You know they're gonna hit something. But I think these 2 teams are just gonna flail in the air.
I think this is a pond hockey game. I think that block shots are going to be few and far between because these teams are going nowhere. Yeah. So why put your body on the line for a team that's going nowhere? So I don't see anybody in these last place teams wanting to throw their bodies in front of 100-mile-an-hour slap shots. So I think this is a pond hockey game, and I give you credit for taking in an under against Merce Leakins.
Pond hockey game is kind of like a pickup basketball game, I guess. Is the
defense optional?
I'm from Southern California. I don't know what that means. Yeah, that's fine. I ride trends until they die, and once they stop, I put another bet on them. So I'm riding this till it dies. That's what I'm going to
do. What kind of can we look at a shot on goal against the Blue Jackets, Nick? Any special guy on Anaheim that we can get some shots on goal?
Maybe saves under or something like that.
The Ducks are not a team that shoot the puck entirely too often. This is a team that has struggled offensively. It's just the number for Merce Leakins makes this team's projection so good because, I mean, the Ducks have actually – I take that back. They're putting up 3.23 expected goals for the last 10 games on average. So this is a team that should be averaging more goals. I think we should see more positive regression offensively for the Anaheim Ducks. That's what my numbers are suggesting. And this game has the prime spot for that to do that because Blue Jackets struggle defensively a little bit as well. And throwing Merce Leakins in there as well. And they're going to struggle to stop the puck.
Okay. Got that circled. Might just take the team total over. I don't know if the Ducks can pull off the win. So, but I do like your team total over. I like your team total over because you said would it be at 2.5? It'll be pretty low.
It'll be 2. Yeah, let's take a look.
I'll tell you right now, it's not on offshore books, but it's on MGM, and the over for Anaheim is
minus 150. I wouldn't win.
Yeah. You got to get to 3.
Maybe. Actually, with my numbers the way they are, I probably will because I think there's value on that line, even at $1.50, because I have them projected for over 4 goals. So,
good luck. That's a lot of fucking juice.
See, that's the one thing I don't lay juice like that except for team totals. If I project a team for over 3.5 goals and they're laying a 2.5 at $1.50, I'll lay that juice because my probabilities say that they'll hit it enough to pay for the juice. So if I see there's value on total team totals is the only thing I do that with. So I've laid bigger juice with team totals.
Side note, Nick, we're going into the fourth quarter of the Miami and Pelicans game. The whole starting lineup has a steal except Jimmy Butler.
The Pelicans bets down 22 points for me. So yeah.
And the Cavs decided to make a third quarter push, and now they're winning by 2 points.
And I see that. And I also took LaMelo's assist prop tonight, and he leaves the game with an ankle injury, so he's not coming back. So yeah, got some dying right now. I did parlay the Mavs and the Stars, but the Mavs are down 2 against the Hawks right now. Wow. So be sweating out today, guys. Go sweat out today. Hey, that's the thrill of betting, guys. That's the risk we take, but we enjoy it because we love the hustle. Like my boy Mitch say on their movie, I love the hustle. But let's get focused. Panthers and Montreal, man. Florida Panthers. I looked at their ATS numbers, and they're pretty horrible, man. They have 30 ATS losses, 18 ATS losses on the road. And they're on the road versus Montreal. I didn't do any numbers on Montreal. I don't know about that team. So That's why we have my fellow hockey players on the site, the show, to give me some insight on these two teams. So, Nick, Florida, Montreal, what we got?
Yeah, this line's not available at my book, but but I'm probably gonna look towards Les Habitants in this game with the Canadiens. And it's I don't think Florida should be this big of a favorite on the road. Even though Montreal has been struggling as of late, they're getting some really good goaltending from Mr. Samuel Montembeault, who now has a .86 goalie rating for me, which one is average. The highest on my spreadsheet is Merzlikins at 1.4. And that's kind of like the multiplier for how I come up with my projected scores. I have this game projected 3.14 to 2.96, actually in favor of the Canadiens. I think they're a live underdog here in this game. I'm probably going to be on Montreal moneyline in this game. Is probably my look in this game. Maybe a look towards a team total over because I can see this being a game where they can get 3 goals. But I'm looking at Montreal in this game, either team total over or money line.
All right. Dave, you got anything on this game?
I don't. It's Canadians, however the fuck you say that, the French way, against the Panthers. Here, the deal is the Panthers are kind of a disappointment this year. They had the President's Cup or whatever it's called.
They won the President's Trophy last year.
Yep,
they were the best team in hockey.
But they're just barely over 500. And another thing too is I like fading the Panthers because their best player is a prick. He's a Kachuk, or however you say his name.
Oh yeah, Kachuk.
I'm never gonna get over how he tried to poke. Was it Quick on the Kings?
Quick, yeah.
Yeah, he tried to poke him in the face when he was on the ground with a stick.
The Chucks are pussies. They'll be the little antagonizers, and then won't drop the gloves. They're little cowards.
Yeah, that's why I miss enforcers, because there'd be some big 6'8" defensemen that smush them into the glass and goo would run out of their leg. But that doesn't happen anymore. So anyway, it's Montreal or nothing based on the line only, but I'm not betting the game.
All right. I probably ain't gonna bet this game either. Another bum fight to me, considering how good the Panthers were last year. Because I won a lot of money on the Panthers last year, but this year
they were a very good team.
Totally different team. So yeah.
And for the Panthers, it all really started the offseason. They didn't renew their head coach because there was turmoil or whatever with their first head coach that started the year with them, and they wanted a new guy. They got Paul Maurice, which he was a downgrade, and they traded away their one of their best players. So, and Boston just scored. Damn it!
I was just going to turn it to the game. That just fucked me.
Speaking of Boston, that's the next game up. Versus the Rangers. Boston will be on a back-to-back, and the Bruins have been beasting, man. 13-5 ATS on the road, and 34-5 record versus the Rangers. 6-9 at home versus the East. But that's just considering I saw. But Nick can give me some more insight on these two teams, how they match up, things like that. So Nick, take the Bruins and Rangers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun matchup because actually they started Omar tonight. That's right. It's gonna be Jeremy Swayman in net for tomorrow, which hell of a 1-2 punch for Boston. He's an above average goaltender as well, a .83 goalie rating. And Shesterkin, .85 for me, which both above average. I think this is a low-scoring hockey game, similar to what I projected for tonight's game with the Bruins and the Islanders. I like this. I like this game potentially to go under the total. I have a feeling we might see a 5.5 in this game. I like the Boston Bruins a little bit in this spot as well. I know the back-to-back will scare some people, but this is a Boston team that plays well at home, or plays well on back-to-backs. They've played well all year long. And at a pick'em price, I think there may be a little bit of value here at Boston. I need to see what the line is when it's dropped on my book, but I'm leaning Boston and under for tomorrow because I'm seeing 5.5 on DraftKings, and there's 5.5s and 6s. So if you like the under, find that 6.
All right, leaning under. Dave, you got anything on this game?
Who's in net for the Rangers? Is it Shish Kebab or
Shesterkin?
Halleck? It is. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm not betting this game. I say the back-to-back be damned. I'm not a back-to-back guy, even in NBA. I think that's the Rangers are favored. I know they're at home, but on other teams that are on a back-to-back and that team's at home, they'd be a lot more than a minus 115 favorite. So I'd go with probably the best team in the NHL, at least so far.
Yeah, especially versus the Metro, because I do believe that the Bruins are undefeated versus the Metro, bro.
Well, they've only lost 4 or 5 times this year.
They're playing the Metro.
Yeah,
they're playing the Metro tonight too. The Islanders in the Metro. Yeah,
it's depressing.
Okay, yeah, they're undefeated versus that division, man. So I think I'm gonna be on the Bruins again tomorrow, buddy. Let me write that down. Bruins lean under. All right, move on. I don't know if this is a bump fight because I looked up the Flyers record. They're not half bad. The Blackhawks are trash though. They're 3-11 on the road, which they're on the road tomorrow. I don't know how good the Flyers are at home versus the competition. So hopefully, I was gonna let Nick do that for me. So I know the Flyers. I've hit their team total a couple times, which is cashed. I took them a full game yet, but I don't know much. I don't know that much about the team to do that because like I said, I don't know goalies and things like that. So Nick, what we got? Blackhawks, Flyers.
Yeah, I wanted to take a little bit of Flyers -1 in this game, but they've kind of priced me out of that. It's a -213 money line and a +120 on the puck line. So it'd be it's only -142. I think that may be a decent look. I'm projecting it to be Hart and Mrazek. Alex Stalock is in concussion protocol, which is their better goaltender. Mrazek is a bit putrid. He's towards the bottom of the list of goaltenders as well. Let's take a look where he is real quick, because he might be hand in hand with Merzlikins. My bad. He's 80 out of 83. So he's bad. He's really bad. So I'm look to probably fade him as well. At this price, -1's $1.40. I might move on that. I see that I have them projected to win by a pretty significant margin, 4.15 to 2.38. The Blackhawks are a fade team. I did play them the other night, and they won against the Buffalo Sabres. So this is a team that you can pick and choose your spots. I don't think tomorrow is one of those spots. Actually, the Flyers have not been playing terrible as of late. They were supposed to be terrible this year. So I'm looking towards Flyers -1. It's a little juicy. Or, depending on what the team total is, maybe look at that team total over. Expecting them to get 4 against Mrazek.
Yeah, I have that wrote down already. Flyers team total over. Dave, you got anything on this one?
I don't. I just put in the private chat. I got a little dog emergency I need to tend to, but the only hockey play I have.
Okay.
I think you're lagging a little bit too, but can you hear me? Nick, are you still there?
Yeah, I can hear.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, anyway, I don't have any other hockey plays besides the Ducks team total under, which you guys are on the exact opposite side. And the only other play tomorrow, I haven't capped college basketball. I'll have those up, but I like the under in the Paris game. I think 235 is way too high. And even though totals this year have been ridiculously high, I've looked at past foreign games played overseas, and they don't get anywhere near this. So that's my only other play for tomorrow. I know you get to NBA, but got to go.
Okay. So the under is what you're saying.
Under in the Bulls Pistons.
Okay, I got it. All right, buddy. Take care of your business. Thanks for coming on, man. Let me know.
No problem, guys. Good luck. Again. I'll jump back in the chat when I can.
All right. Oh, man. Clicked it too soon. All right, Nick. Just me and you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
So where did we leave off? Flyers and Blackhawks. You said team total, Flyers, lean?
I'm going to look towards the Flyers team total and the -1 line, which is a little juicy at the moment, but I'm looking to fade the Blackhawks a little bit with Mrazek in that.
And they're 3-11 on the road, so doesn't hurt that's there's trash on the road as well. All right, Jets and the Maple Leafs. Very interesting game here, Nick. 16-3 at home, 15-8 to the under at home. The Jets 15-7 ATS on the road. So interesting matchup here. Maple Leafs coming off a win last night, off 2 losses. The Jets coming off a loss last night. So yeah, give me your thoughts. Jets and Maple Leafs.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. I did play the Jets in this game. They are coming in off of a loss, but they outplayed the Montreal Canadiens in that game. Montembeault was awesome because my projected score for that game, when you use expected goals, was 4 to 2.89 in favor of Winnipeg. So this is a team that lost 4-1, but was projected for 4 goals. Yeah. So they got goalied, and that happens from time to time. And we just call those goalie good at hockey games, and we move on. I have them project. I have where is this Jets game? Yeah, I have the Jets projected to win this game, 2.86 to 2.46. So I have the Jets projected more like -120 in this game. Now, granted, it's on the road, so probably you can implement that a little bit, but I don't think they should be this big of dogs, especially with Hellebuck in net, who's been an above-average goaltender this year. Actually, had been borderline an elite goaltender this year. He's top 5, top 3 probably for Vezina talks. I'm on Winnipeg. I got him at +149. I think that they are a very live underdog, and I think this line is too wide. And the Maple Leafs have been good this year, but they can be a team that's untrustworthy as a favorite at times. And Winnipeg is one of those teams where when they're getting a decent price, I'm always willing to take a shot with them.
All right. And you said they're both projected to go under 3 goals. So would you lean under?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be a lean towards the under in this game. I believe it is a 6. Probably the way I'll approach this game is seeing that it's a -168 for the Maple Leafs. I'm probably going to get a 3.5 at a decent number. And I can probably grab a little Maple Leafs team total under at 3 and a hook. That's generally when I like to project an under and I lean towards an underdog. Generally, those 3.5 team totals, you can get Toronto team total under 3.5 at -121 on Caesars and -115 on Pinnacle. So you can get a decent price for that. So that's not a bad look, I think.
Okay. Got it wrote down. Team total under Maple Leafs, full game under. All right. All right, let's move on. Islanders and the Sabres. The Sabres, what do I have on them? I don't think I had anything on them. No, I don't. Or the Islanders. So you're going to have to give me all the insight on this game because I have no trend or any stat on either of these two teams.
Yeah, the Islanders coming in off the back. They're on the back-to-back. They played against Boston tonight. They now travel to Buffalo tomorrow. And actually looking at the expected goal numbers, the Islanders were the better team tonight. Sorokin struggled. They were projected to win that game 3.31 to 2.01. So I believe if Sorokin was in net, the Islanders come out with a win tonight. It was just one of those struggle games by Varlamov, which it's tough to get a rhythm going in the NHL when you only play every few games. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Sorokin has been elite this year. He's a top 5 goaltender, if not top 3 in the league, in my opinion. And he's starting to be like the Jacob deGrom of hockey. He's amazing. He keeps his team in games. The Islanders, like the Mets for DeGrom when it came to runs, they don't give him jack shit. That's the problem here. The Islanders are one of the worst scoring teams in hockey. I have this game projected 3.03 to 2.66 in favor of the Islanders. I think the Islanders are a live underdog in this game tomorrow. You're getting them for, I believe they're on pick'em price. I'll probably move on the Islanders tomorrow because everybody's going to see they lost 4-1 tonight and probably move against them. So I'll probably get an even better price in the morning. I like the Islanders in this game, and I lean under. I think that this is a game where defensively the Islanders will look to play better. We get a better goaltender in net with Sorokin tomorrow. So I'm looking at probably the Isles and the under in this game against the Sabres.
All right. Got it. Move on to the Predators and the Blues. And I do have something on the Predators. I mentioned that earlier. Like, I think the other day you had told me about how they've held an opponent 3 goals or under 21 out of the last 26 games. That was yesterday. So, yeah. But you also told me that you have to pay attention to the goalies.
Yes.
So there's one specific goalie that has been doing that trend.
Yes.
Now, that goalie projected tomorrow.
He did not play last game. He's in tomorrow. Like, that's one of those. He's one of those goaltenders where if he doesn't play one game, I'm guaranteeing, unless he's injured, I'm guaranteeing he's in the next game. He's
What's his name?
UC Saros. UC Saros. Just Saros. Saros.
Got it.
He has a .79 goalie rating. He is second in the NHL in goals saved above average at 23.1. His numbers this year, if he was an average goaltender, he would have given up 110 goals by now. He's only given up 87. He's been absolutely awesome. He is a dark horse for me to win the Vezina. Now, he's not going to win the Vezina. I'm just saying if you're looking for long shot odds, you're going to need Nashville to make the playoffs, which who knows? Maybe he can. I grabbed Nashville right away. I knew Saros is going to be in net. I grabbed him right away at $1.05, pick 'em price. Against a Blues team that I loved the Blues last year. The Blues were awesome last year.
Yeah.
They traded away arguably their better goaltender in the offseason. They lost David Perron in the offseason. They've had injuries. This is not the same Blues team as they were last year. Defensively, they've struggled. Offensively, they've struggled. I like the Predators in this game at a pick-em price, even on the road. This is a Nashville team. Whenever Saros is in net, I'm probably lining up to bet Nashville because he has a lot of those games like we were describing earlier where goalies have very strong games. I find a lot of times we'll look at the stats behind Predators games at the end of the night and we're like, wow, Saros equals good at hockey. This is probably another one of those games. I like the Preds here in this spot. I got the money line. This was one of the first plays I bet for tomorrow.
All right, buddy. I'm riding with you too because I've been on the Predators. Mostly the team total under for the other team, considering
I wouldn't talk you off of that one either. I have the Blues projected for 2.62. So
there
I
you
can
go.
see that.
There you go. All right. I'm all on it, buddy. You just reaffirmed it for me. Predators over the Blues. All right. Let's keep it moving, man. Capitals and the Coyotes. Now, the Coyotes are interesting. They have sort of like a good kind of trend at home, but they're horrible on the road. Now, the Capitals, I don't know too much about the Capitals. The only thing I know about is Ovechkin. That's the only thing I know about the Capitals. So, other than that, I'm going to rely on you for the insight. So, what we got? Capitals and Coyotes.
Yeah, Coyotes are a fun team at home. They play at Mullet Arena, Arizona State, which houses all of 5,000 people. So I've heard from plenty of from people or from players there. It's a very intimate atmosphere. They're right on top of you. They're loud, even though there's only 5,000 of them because it's a small arena. I didn't bet this game, and I probably won't be betting this game. I think this line's about correct, maybe a little bit wide. The Coyotes are coming in off of a win against the Red Wings. This is a team, though, the Coyotes, when they win games, it's one of those where you look back, scratch your head, and wonder how the fuck they won that game. Like, it's one of those where if they're going to win a game, Karol Vejmelka is going to have a day. Like, that's one of those things where they get outplayed almost every game. Their expected goal numbers are terrible. Their advanced analytics are terrible. but their goaltending's good at times. Vejmelka's been an above-average goaltender. He has regressed from the beginning of the season, but he's about a .9 goalie rating, which is slightly above average. So if I had to make a play in this game, I would lean Coyotes as a home dog. Probably and a lean maybe towards the under here. It's a 6. I would prefer to 6.5. I have a game projected for 5.61 goals, so it's a slight lean towards the under here for me. But not anything I bet personally.
Okay. Yeah. I've been watching the Coyotes at home, man. I've cashed on them a couple times. You know, I don't take every time, but I cashed on them a couple times. So you gotta just
they're not a game that you should they're not a team you should expect to win a lot of games this year. They're gonna be one of those teams that you're gonna find them plus 500 later in the year against teams like Colorado.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on, man. Another interesting game right here. The Lightning at the Oilers, Edmonton. The Lightning are playing right now, so these trends I'm considering right now before they play Vancouver. The Lightning are 15-5-3 to the under on the road. They're 6-2 versus the Pacific Division, 6-3 on the road versus the West. Oilers 15-6-3 to the over at home, 5-3 versus the East. I'm sorry, 4-1 versus the Atlantic Division. So this is gonna be a good game right here. So Nick, let's go. What we got for this game?
Yeah, this one's gonna be interesting to see. I need to get a little bit more data for what happens tonight against Vancouver. I'll be a little bit less interested in Tampa Bay if like they go to overtime or something like tonight, or it's a hard fought battle. That's one of those things. But at the moment, I don't really have anything. It's a slight lean. Actually, it'd probably be a slight lean towards the Lightning in this game because I originally, when I did my numbers for this game, I had Elliott projected, which Elliott's going tonight. That's the backup. They're saving Vasilevsky for this game. They're starting goaltender. So I would have to put in Vasilevsky's numbers here. I think the Lightning are a bet-on team going forward. This is a team that's won the expected goal battle in 9 of their last 10 games. Their offensive numbers have been awesome, 3.89 expected goals for the last 9 games and 2.74 against. So this is a team that's outplaying their opponents. Their advanced analytics are elite right now. This is a team that's going to go on a run. If you're looking for a long shot future, I have not bet this one, but them to win the Atlantic is $14. And we're before the All-Star break, and they can go on a run. Now, this is probably not a team I don't think is going to win the division, but at 14-1, I think there may be a little bit of value with them to win the division. Boston's going to run away with that, though. But this is a team that's going to go on a run. This is a very good hockey team still. Probably it's Lightning or nothing for me.
Yeah. I can lean towards you as well. Lightning's been playing good. And I'm thinking that, like I said, I watch a couple hockey shows and, you know, people that know the sport pretty well. And a lot of people mention that they're overlooking the Lightning, man, considering how they did last year. They're kind of under the radar this year. And they can be a sneaky buy-on team right now, considering everybody's talking about the Bruins, Toronto. You know, nobody's talking about the Lightning. Carolina.
They're quietly going to make the Eastern Conference Finals again.
Yeah. So it may be a team that I may hook my train onto, man. I may hook some money train onto the Lightning futures. So I'm going to keep them circled.
Lightning are a good team to do that with.
Yeah. And I'm going to lean towards them tomorrow as well. Like I said, considering how they do tonight, they should take care of business versus Vancouver tonight. I mean, I don't see
absolutely. I have them -1 and team total over.
So, yeah, we're both on them. I have team total over too. So, all right, let's move on to another interesting game, which is going to be good. The Devils at the Kraken. The Kraken. 15-6-1 to the under at home. 12-7 versus the East. The Devils 6-0 on the road versus the West. 10-0 versus the Pacific Division. Now, not to mention 18-2 on the road. So, Nick, can you talk me off taking the Devils over the Kraken?
I can't because I grabbed them at $1.20 earlier today. And now they're $1.28 on my book. So beat a nice little 8-cent line movement so far with Los Diablos. But I had this game projected 3.08 to 2.69. So at that price, I thought there was value here with the Devils. I had them more like minus 135, around that minus 130, minus 135 range. This is a team that's been awesome on the road this year. I kind of leaned against them in their last game, New Jersey. They did get outplayed against the Sharks last game. They squeaked out in a overtime shootout game. So this was they did get tested last game against the Sharks. The Kraken, I think, are one of those teams that are going to come back down to earth here. It's a team that won all 7 games on their road trip. Then they come back home. They lose 4-1 against the Lightning, and then they go back on the road. They lose 5-2. Now they're back at home. But this is a team that I could see regressing down to the mean. And when you back Seattle, you kind of want them on the road rather than at home. Both these teams, they're weird. You like them on the road rather than at home. I like the Devils in this spot here. I'm expecting some regression from the Kraken. They've, I think, overachieved a little bit this year. I grabbed the Devils earlier today at minus 120.
I'm with you, buddy. I want some money on the Devils in recent, considering, like I said, they're on the road. I looked up their stats and I saw how they're on the road, 16-5 ATS on the road. I'm like, wait, hold on, I need to start backing this team. So yeah, I put a couple of change on the Devils the past couple of weeks and won. So, and I'm gonna be on them tomorrow, considering they're 10-0 versus the Pacific. I can't ignore that. I can't ignore it. So,
shows that they're not afraid to play on the West Coast.
Hey, them and the Lightning. Are good versus the West on the road.
They're also good hockey teams. These are 2 good hockey teams as well.
All right, buddy. I got it locked in. All right. Red Wings at the Golden Knights. Golden Knights, 13-5 versus the East, 9-2 versus the Atlantic Division. And they are... Where is it? Knights. They are 16-9 to the under at home. But interesting stat here, Nick. 17 ATS losses at home for the Knights.
17.
So 17 ATS losses at home. The Knights. They may have won the game, but they didn't cover the puck line. So. What do you got? Red Wings and Knights. Hopefully you're leaning towards the Knights under.
I feel like that's the spot with the most value in this game at under 6.5. I have it projected for 6.17 goals. So I don't know if it's going to be enough for me to go ahead and bet. I kind of lean towards the Wings in this spot here. I have the Knights more around minus 130, minus 135. So seeing Detroit at plus 147 suggests there's a little bit of value there with Detroit on the road here. So for right now, it's just small leans in this game for me. Nothing I have bet. But it'd be Wings and under for me if I were to go and bet this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the under, considering it's a Knights home game. And I may look at the Wings, considering all the ATS losses the Knights got, but I may not. I may just look at it to see how many they've lost in a row. Just to go back in their schedule a little bit. But I'm definitely going to lean towards the under. It may be a play for me, but I'm not trying to make too many plays. Because I don't want to lose a lot of money. So I got the Lightning. I got the Devils. Team total. Under for the Blues versus the Predators, and under is what I got so far. Leaning. All right, last game.
Yeah.
Stars at the Kings, and considering what the Stars do tonight, they're playing right now.
Lightning goal. Sorry.
Is the Stars game started yet?
I think it just started. I think that was just Stamkos' 500th career goal. Yeah, everybody just got off the bench to celebrate there. That was Stamkos' 500th career goal right there. 500. Little backdoor. Yeah, Stammer 500.
All right. Stars and Knights, man. Stars and Kings. The Stars on the road, 18-6-1 to the under. They're playing on the road right now versus the Sharks, so that will definitely change tonight, either 18-19 or 18-7, depending on how they do. Versus the Kings. Found an interesting stat with the Kings, man. They are 8-0 in their last 8 games at home versus the West. Now, I don't know what the projected goals are. I figure I will get that from you. But I'm already looking at, considering the Stars are on a back-to-back, may lean towards the Kings in this game. But I'm going to see how my expert Nick feels about this. So what we got? Stars and Kings.
Yeah, this is a tricky game. I need to see what the line is for this one, actually, because it's not available. Kings are minus 120. There may be a little bit of value here with the Stars in this game. At the plus 110 price tag here, I have this game projected close to a pick'em. I don't know if this is going to be something I get involved with. Projecting the total's a 6, and I have this game projected at 5.84. So this may just be a pass for me in this game. I like the way Phoenix Copley is played for the LA Kings. It's projected to be Wedgwood on the opposite side. This is a tricky game. I want to see what happens tonight between Dallas and San Jose before making any moves on this game. I would lean towards maybe Dallas at the plus price tag, actually. Okay. They're the better overall team, but I don't know if I particularly want to go up against Phoenix Copley the way he's played.
That's the goalie for the Kings?
Yeah, he's come in. He's a journeyman guy. He's been with a few different organizations. He came in when they got rid of Peterson. They put Peterson on waivers, sent him down to the AHL to get more reps and stuff like that because he was really struggling in the NHL. So, and Copley's kind of just taken over that starting role, and he's been consistently good. So that's a tricky game for me. It's no play for me at the moment and probably won't be a play.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Got enough action, early action so far, but like I said, we got to depend on, what comes up tomorrow, how the Stars do tonight, how the Lightning do tonight, because both of those teams are in action right now. So, but all right, man. Good stuff, Nick. Good stuff, man. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. We can, the NBA schedule tomorrow is ugly to me because it's East versus West teams, and yeah, and I'm not a real backer of the Celtics. They're at home, so Warriors, they've been trash on the road, but Steph Curry, he can light you up for 40 anytime. Raptors and Wolves, I don't have anything on that game. Wolves are on a back-to-back. They're playing right now versus Denver, so who knows if anybody's going to be playing in that game tomorrow night, They already have Gobert and Towns out, so all they have is Anthony Edwards and Russell. And who's to say?
I was going to say, is there injuries on the side of that? Because my numbers say that the Wolves should be a 1-point home favorite tomorrow, even on the back-to-back.
Yeah, Gobert sat tonight.
I might be looking at not the large sodas, but the mini sodas tomorrow there.
Nets and Suns, I'm going to bet the first half under for the Suns because I have that trend right here. I just found it today. The Suns are 30-15 to the under first half at home. So, yeah, they're an under team at home in the first half. So I'm definitely going to play that one, considering KD's out. Who knows if Kyrie's going to play? The Nets are struggling right now without their stars. And the Suns, they don't have Booker. They don't have Paul. So they're going to be without their stars too. So I'm going to lean towards the under first half in this game. I'm probably for sure going to get to the window. 76ers and Blazers. The 76ers have been playing good. They're averaging 60 points in the first half, the last 19 games, I believe. And I do believe that they are – hold on, I got it right here. I just don't want to go off the top of my head. I want to give you all the accurate stat. 13-7 to the over first half on the road. And they're playing on the road tomorrow versus the Trailblazers. So that's in play. Like I just mentioned, 60 points averaging first half their last 19 games. 12-5 straight up in the first quarter versus the West. 6-1 straight up versus the West on the road in the last 7 games. So Philly should take care of business early tomorrow. Portland, they're a good ATS team. Dane's been putting up like 40 points, 35, 40 points a game the past couple of games. But like I said, I'm just not really heavily interested in NBA tomorrow. I'm going to be invested in hockey tomorrow. That's why I'm glad I had you on the show tonight to give me some more insight on the trends and goalies and players and things like that for the team. So you gave me a lot of good information, man. And I'm going to look over it tonight. We're going to look over the schedule tomorrow, considering how the Stars and the Lightning do, and we're going to make some plays tomorrow, man. So.
Oh yeah, it's a big slate in the NHL tomorrow. I have 5 plays bet so far for the NHL, and probably by puck drop of the first game I'll have like 11. So like I add my team totals in the morning. That's the way I bet for hockey, because team totals are not available, and it's 2-0 Lightning. Nice.
There we go. Team total. Team total looking good.
There it looks like. So looking at tomorrow here, just a little recap. I got Ducks in the over. I got Winnipeg. I got Nashville. I got New Jersey. For tomorrow so far, that's what I bet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plays that jumped out to me early.
Okay, I will be definitely on the Predators with you. I was already leaning towards that, so you confirmed that one for me for sure. I may be on the Bruins under again, considering how good they are versus the East.
Yeah.
Lightning, Devils. That's pretty much it for right now. And I'm leaning towards the under Knights game. That's just a lean, though. Probably won't get to the window, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. That's it, man. Anything else you want to talk about, throw out there?
Not anything else I got for tomorrow. That's basically it. Love the big slates for hockey. Those are always fun.
Yeah, I like them too. Because I don't watch hockey. Like I said, I don't know any of the players, but it's a good sport to cap.
It's a great sport to cap, and I'm glad I got my little system down for it with my spreadsheet and everything. So
yeah, I like it.
Makes capping it easier, even though the spreadsheet takes me over an hour to do a day. So.
All right, man. Well, hopefully we'll have some good catches tomorrow. Like I said, we'll touch bases tomorrow on your show in the chat. Not to speaking of that, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, Earl Sports Bets on YouTube. We're live every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Earl Sports Bet Show. We stream every single day, so you can find us live in the morning.
Yeah, and follow guys, man. I'm telling you, they got good information. I'm on there every morning, giving my stats out, giving my thoughts.
Yeah, whenever you throw a prop in the chat, I bet it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look like the Jimmy Butler's going to work out tonight, but who we do have on Friday. We have the Nets. Well, we have the Nets tomorrow versus the Suns. I may jump on Claxton tomorrow. I'm gonna have to look.
Claxton,
Claxton
blocks.
I would have to look and see though.
It's like all you gotta do is remind me in the chat, and just remind me in the chat, and I'll have to remember to bet Claxton props, and eventually I'll buy a Nick Claxton jersey. So,
hey, I got you, man. I got you. So that's it, man. Thank you everybody for joining us today. Hopefully y'all got some good information. Follow me, LJ from Houston, LJ from H-Town, wherever you want to call it. Both of them are the same. At LJ Sports Media on Twitter. Follow me, Pub Sports Radio. I will be on with Jimmy next Wednesday doing the NBA segment. And I probably will be back on Earl Sports again before the football playoffs are over, So I'll just let y'all know when I'm available. And until then, like I said, Nick, appreciate you for coming on, man. Great work, insight on the hockey, and let's cash, my friend. So, till then, everybody, RaWordz Podcast, LJ from H-Town. That's Nick from Earl Sports Bets, and we are out.
Yeah, R-A-W. Words being served, no concern and no trouble to get that dough. Money on my mind, if it's money all the time, we be pubbing on the grind. If it's LJ from Houston, pulling up stats, you'll be pulling in stacks, hitting rookies from the back with no Vaseline. I need green and up Sequana jeans for a fiend, save the dreams for a game. This is H-Town, home of the lean Astros is the team, and we rock